So it turns out 18-year-old Brazilian Joao Fonseca is not ready to take on a top 5 tennis player in the world. Jack Draper absolutely dismantled young Fonseca 6-2, 6-4, 6-2 in the third round of Roland Garros. In this video, I'm going to be giving my takeaways from the match and my outlook for each player going forward. In tennis, I don't think stats always tell the full story, but in set 1, Fonseca hit 74% first serves in and only won 59% of them, while only winning 17% of his second serve points. Contrastly, Draper only hit 45% first serves in, but won 90% of his first serves. Fonseca, with his elite ball striking and raw power, he's used to putting points away early and not expecting certain balls to come back. But man, was Draper getting everything back. He was constantly forcing balls back to Fonseca and making him hit that extra ball. I thought Draper's defense was incredibly impressive, especially on his return games. At 6'4", with his length and athleticism, he covers the entire clay court, and now that he's learned how to move on a clay court, his defense is tough to get through. Since Fonseca was struggling to break through Draper's defense, time and time again I thought he was forcing shots and going for a little too much, because he did not want to get stuck in a long rally with Draper. Draper's heavy spin was definitely giving Fonseca some issues, and anything that Fonseca was leaving short, Draper was putting it away. Jack's complement of patient defense leading into offensive opportunities really kind of troubled Fonseca. Even though Fonseca on paper was serving well, Jack was getting a lot of those returns back in play and forcing what usually is 1 or 2 shots for Fonseca into now extended rallies where Fonseca physically couldn't hold up with Jack, didn't have the consistency or the patience in rallies to outlast Draper. For the majority of the match, Draper was incredibly efficient on serve. Especially early on, Joao was really driving a lot of those returns, and Draper was having the ball come back even faster. Fonseca was not used to somebody matching his pace, and I thought that was a little apparent as Draper caught Fonseca a lot on his back foot. However, going into set 2, I did notice an improvement from Fonseca tactically. For the entire match, he was serving pretty well with his first serve, but I thought later on he was way more patient and willing to construct points and know that even though he hits the first serve well against Draper, the ball's most likely coming back, and now he has to think 2, 3 shots ahead. For the majority of his young career, he's putting those balls away early within points. Fonseca was much steadier on serve, but honestly in set 2, Jack Draper showed us why he's a top 5 player in the world. He was honestly just too good. He was everywhere on the court, was getting balls back defensively that were insane, coupling that with great touch on the drop shot, elite offensive game. Whenever Fonseca tested Draper's forehand, he was getting punished, and his backhand, being a natural righty, is also a reliable shot for him to end points with as well. I thought the most critical game of the match was at 3-3 in the second set, with Fonseca serving. Fonseca did well to fight off 2 break points in this game, but on one of the deuce points, in an extended rally, he forced a backhand rip cross court and didn't really expect the ball to come and wasn't ready for the ball to come back even faster. And man, did Jack rip that forehand down the line. The theme of this match was Fonseca was not ready for some of these balls to come back, and Draper was ready to lock down and play the entire night. Draper's improved physicality flourished throughout this match, and in the extended rallies when Fonseca didn't have the legs or the footwork to match Draper, Draper really shined. And on many key points, I thought that was the difference. And even though Jack did end up breaking that game, a testament to Fonseca was that he held serve and got another chance at 4-5 to break back and get in this set. He actually had 2 break points to break back and force 5-5, but Jack was way too solid. And I thought on set point in set number 2, the main lesson that I think Fonseca should learn in this match is to be patient. Jack, he was doing well defensively. He had a high, heavy topspin lob to Fonseca's forehand, and Fonseca ripped one over his shoulder. Yes, he's used to making this shot, but I don't think at this level it was time for him to unleash that trigger. Draper made life tough for Fonseca, and it showed. And then in the third set, I thought the scoreboard pressure got to Joao. His legs weren't as fresh as they were later in the match, and he was just beaten down mentally and physically. Draper's ruthlessness took the crowd out of the match, and Fonseca just had no energy to fight and saw no way out against the great Jack Draper. It was a very clinical performance from Draper to get through here, and he executed his strategy to perfection. And for my main takeaways for both players, first, Joao Fonseca is only 18. This is his first full season on tour. He's going to be 19 in August. I think my co-host, we might have to pump the brakes on this kid for the time being. This year is obviously going to be a learning experience for Fonseca. He's only 18 playing in a kid's body against grown men. In a couple years, once he gets the physical development, the legs underneath him to grind and last longer in these tournaments and sustain the heavy hitting that he produces, I think Fonseca is going to be fine. Fonseca has the raw talent and the foundational weapons to build upon. Now it's about getting that experience, getting his body stronger, learning patience within rallies, shoring up his variety, and learning how to play with the right amount of risk. I think in 2 years' time is a realistic time frame when Fonseca is around 2021 for him to be competing for the top 10. I think his goal for the year, if he's top 50 by the end of the year, that'll be a very impressive accomplishment to build on and will set up nicely for next year to take another step forward and maybe push the top 20 or 25. We do have to pump the brakes for now on Fonseca, but I am not going to pump the brakes on Jack Draper, the number 4 player in the world. Draper right now is where Fonseca wants to be one day. Draper has justified his number 4 ranking in the world with not just one breakout tournament performance, but deep runs in many tournaments on different surfaces this year. He is an all-court player. He's going to be a threat at every slam going forward, probably for the next 10 years as long as his body holds up. And man, has Jack taken a huge leap this year to now be in the conversation with guys like Sinner, Alcaraz, Zverev, Djokovic as realistic players that can win a Grand Slam. Even with how much of a killer Sinner has looked like this tournament, and I give Jack a real shot to put up a fight against him. I don't know if he's quite ready to beat a guy like Sinner in this high stakes of an event, but I'm not going to discount Draper's chances here in Roland Garros. I think he handles Bublik pretty easily next round, and I think he pushes Sinner to a close 4 or 5 sets, and we're going to be in for an absolute classic in the quarterfinals. Draper is a star right now. Fonseca is going to be a star in the future. I can't wait to watch Draper the rest of Roland Garros. There's so many more matches to get into. This match today, unfortunately, did not meet up to the high expectations that we had for it. But nevertheless, watching these two guys play tennis is always a great time. If you don't want to miss out any more Roland Garros videos coming out this next week, make sure to subscribe, like the video if you guys enjoyed, and keep double faulting out there.